Jai Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Friday morning's meditation seminar. We'll do what we always do. We'll suspend our mind just a tiny little bit and free awareness to become aware of its own self. Actually, to merge with its own self. And then we just were listening to a chant by Chögyam Rinpoche, great Dzogchen master, who had the power of the voice and in his singing to transmit the light and the energy and the field of awareness. The song he was just singing is one of the Vajra songs, and sometimes yogis, when they experience this state of liberation, freedom, they articulate it, they write about it, they put it to words. And this one goes like this. Emaho, that means fantastic. The melody of timeless awareness this utter lucidity, free of elaboration, this pure awareness, pure timeless awareness, and this web, this field of unceasing magic, and this manifestation of union, indivisibility, sovereign Lord of all the mandalas. And here he's invoking the primordial gurus, Guru Rinpoche, the lake-born Vajra. Grant us this single blessing to realize. You're going to have to mute. You're going to have to mute. There we go. The single blessing of muting. Thank you. Grant us the single blessing of muting. No, that's not it. The single blessing to realize, to experience all appearances of the Dharmakaya. Just like that little sound. So everything is the manifestation of primordial awareness. All experience, all phenomena, the manifestation of the Dharmakaya. And the Dharmakaya is this pure potentiality of awareness that creates everything and anything out of its own self. So then it says this, the outer environment is the charnel ground. It's like a burial ground, and the gathering place, co-emergent with being itself. So in this world, with its difficulties and challenges, nonetheless, it is completely co-emergent with being itself. It is actually being itself. So he's saying that being and the Dharmakaya are completely the same. And within it, within this world, within this realm, are the assembled deities of the naturally occurring Vajra form. So he's talking about all these archetypical energies, the gods and the goddesses, are also manifesting within this world. And in the youthful exuberance of inexhaustible, sublime bliss, dance your dance to the immutable song of the primordial unborn sound. As we brothers and sisters are gathered here, joined together by karma and aspiration, partaking of this celebration, and enjoying the wealth of the sublime bliss of luminous awareness. So I gather my single aspiration that we meet again as one, and gathering in the celebration of the palace of the lotus light and the pinnacle of the pure realm. Meditation is a word that covers a lot of traffic, like most words, many forms of meditation. So in around the 7th, 8th century, in Tibet, there began to arise a form of meditation that reflects just that song, where they began to experience the arising of this awareness, this manifestation of this awareness within themselves as their own awareness, with the world around them and the people around them. All is the manifestation of awareness itself, primordial awareness. And that the appearances are actually not simply delusions or displays or imaginations, but actually divinity itself. So they began to experience every feeling, every sensation, every event as a manifestation of the light. Of the light. And so as this becoming aware of one's own awareness opened more and more, then the yogis began to write it and put it to words, and would transfer it from one person to another, just like the chant, by extending it, by transmitting their experience into others. And one of the qualities, as one becomes aware of awareness, one of the first ones that they would describe as it manifested within them was kadig. Some say kadag. But kadig means purity. And they began to experience that their mind was not pure. And the more they worked on it, the more they scrubbed it, the more they did this, and the more they did that, it quite didn't work, because the mind is a bit crazed. And it manifests everything and anything in every person, huh? But they did also begin to understand simultaneously the distinction between mind and awareness. And they began to focus not on their mind, not on mindfulness, but they suspended their mind, placed it aside, and began to become aware of this awareness, just like we are right now. And as it became aware of the awareness, the sense of purity arose. Purity. This pure openness. This pure untouched. This pure light. And it was in spite of and in light of whatever was happening around them, including their own mind. And they began to experience that this awareness, their own awareness, the heart essence awareness, is total openness. And as they would experience this complete purity within their own body, within their own heart, they would naturally begin to experience within other human beings, and even animals, the same purity of being. They would experience being itself as pure. Now all the forms of being is something else, but they would experience the very quality of being within themselves and the being in the others was this pure. And they would resonate. This purity resonates. Sometimes they would describe it like the nature of a child, huh? Once we had a teacher, Dr. Yen, would come, and great Qigong master, and would always describe going into the Qigong state. He would describe it as childlike in its purity. The Hridayam. Completely pure. So this purity of this awareness is the very purity of being itself, that is manifesting everything and anything, including us and our own awareness. It's all that close. It's all that direct. It's all that intimate. So rather than working on their mind, watching it day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, life after life, they would focus within this awareness itself, this opening. This pure, unbound state, their own state. And then the light, this purity, began to infuse their mind. Sometimes they would even bring their mind, little wacky minds, bring it right into the heart essence. And then it's infused by this purity, by this openness, by the light, by the energy, the Shakti, the Chi. And slowly but surely, a union, conjunctio, between their mind and the heart essence awareness would be formed. So through that union of mind and heart, they began to experience this world as divine. And they understood that this purity of awareness was not the same as purity of mind, or purity of character, or purity of body. It was unto itself in every human being, no matter what. And from this purity of awareness actually arose karuna, arose the great compassion. It arose from within. And they would experience this compassion, which is the very nature of awareness, the very nature of purity. They would experience this in themselves, and they would experience it in other people, in everyone actually. They would experience it in innocent, like children. They would experience this innocence, this purity in people, in spite of their distortions of mind, in spite of their distortions of character, there would be this purity within everyone and everything. And it would bring compassion, this resonance of compassion. Because sometimes it was very sad to experience this within this person. And yet, the accoutrements were really terrible. And yet, this being, in their awareness, is totally pure. And as this purity arises in the mind, and the mind is brought into it, the mind itself begins to have direct perception. The purity of awareness is gnosis, the capacity of knowing directly. Mind is much more always dualistic, generational, unconscious experiences, archetypal, all kind of stuff. But the light of this awareness would slowly but surely infuse the mind. Which also was interesting, the very light of this purity infusing the mind would give a clarity to the mind that in this world, at one dimension, the yogi would experience the purity of everybody and everything in its awesomeness, with the flow of the great compassion, the great affection. And simultaneously, the very purity of the awareness would illumine their mind to actually perceive circumstances, perceive character, to see the character of situations and the character of people, because it's not in opposition to know both simultaneously in the immediacy of the moment. Ahama. They also could experience, just like the chant we just heard, where the yogi's voice was transmitting the experience. That he was living in. The same thing, the yogis, in a natural way, uncontrived, natural, all this is natural, could experience this resonance between themselves and others at this level of purity. And they could feel the light itself, the expansion, the extension of compassion arising from them into others. Or as a great Yangtang Rinpoche, great Dzogchen master, would say, and this is often or never said, that true compassion is this capacity to extend this purity of awareness, this light of awareness, into the awareness of another in the present moment, and into the awareness of the other in the past, even into their past, and to extend this compassion into the future. The power of compassion, the power of the light, the power of the pure knowingness as ordinary people. Intimately connected to this purity of awareness, another quality would arise, which is timelessness. This purity of awareness, that is our awareness, as we allow ourselves to enter into it, is in essence timeless. And the essence of Dzogchen is timeless awareness. So we enter into this purity, this doorway, this openness of awareness, not our mind, and then the sense of timelessness begins to arise. And we can experience timelessness in time. In truth, compassion is timelessness in time, coming into time. Empathy, which is also nice to have, is in the mind. It's good to have it. Makes you a better person, sort of. But it really is useful. But it is not the power of compassion. The power of compassion is beyond judgment, beyond prejudice. Empathy's not. They're not the same in Dzogchen. Empathy is psychological. Omahung Bodhicitta Sukha Yana Tattva. Omahung opens up the three dimensions. Om, Ahum. Maha, Sukha, the great bliss. Bodhicitta, the great compassion. Dhatu-a, in every situation. Timeless awareness in time. In Dzogchen, it's not simply being in time, and it's not simply being in timeless awareness. A little hill someplace. It is the union, the Conjunction, timeless awareness in time, liberation. Liberation through appearance. As the yogis would meditate, becoming aware of their own awareness, this purity arises naturally. Timeless awareness naturally arises. And then this other quality of awareness begins to manifest itself. It's actually an unfolding process, like most things. There arises this experience of pure potentiality, pure potential space. And this pure potentiality is not the sense of possibilities, like a new day, good things probable, bad things not. Potentiality is creativity, creation. Primordial creation, Dharmakaya, So as the light of awareness unfolds, this potentialness, the sea of potentialness, this sea of complete indeterminateness is the essence, our own essence of awareness. In this life and every life. So with the Guru. And if we begin to touch it, it arises in meditation, huh? Sometimes it's terrifying at first. It's so much power. And it's so completely indeterminate. There's no reference point. It's pure potentiality. That's why sometimes the texts in the great yogic text, Dakini texts, describe the capacity to experience and go through terror. Because sometimes at first phase is these profound manifestations open to us, the gift being given. It's not a relaxation moment. And then we embrace it, since it's our very essence. Or Swami Muktananda would often say, God dwells within you as you. And just the same, seeing God in each other. This is what he's speaking about. Not simply some little blue guy inside. And as you and I suspend our mind and become aware of this awareness, this unfolds naturally. Directly. But if you take your mind too serious, too serious, you'll be scrubbing the windows of your mind. Scrubbing the mind is like having brushed your teeth 5 times in the morning, and then you have lunch. And so, resting in this light, in the purity. If we take our conscience too seriously and its judgmentalness, we'll become it. It'll torment you. Mysticism and religion are not quite the same track. Both are good. we'll focus on the purity of our awareness. Not from our mind. If we impose our mind on it, it's just another thought. We'll focus with desire for it to manifest itself in our relationship with this field of being, which is in us as us. Desire brings forth everything. Everything. Desire and devotion are just about the same. as you're sitting in awareness and you're in the field, it is sometimes useful to open from your chest up, like you're opening a door, like and you'll feel the awareness arising into your mind, infusing your mind, infusing your body. As you and I embody this awareness in mind and body. Sometimes you'll feel that column of light through your body, all the way down into the earth, and all the way up to the heart, palate of the mouth. And you can actually invoke the awareness to move up. And you can gently bring your mind down into the sea of chi, effortlessly. Many traditional forms, but most people are experiencing is you train your mind, you purify your mind, and then awareness manifests. It's actually just the opposite. It's just the opposite. So you may consider your allegiance, whether my allegiance is to my mind, or actually, as Agape Dorje says, this decisive allegiance, attunement to awareness itself. As Dosha Rinpoche says, know the one thing that frees everything, your awareness itself. So beating near 20 after. From this place of our own awareness. Where the superego does not exist. We'll extend to those we know and love. The inner heart essence. Extending the purity of our own awareness. So now we're going to start to end up a little early. And I'm going to ask, would someone share their experience this morning? We're going to leave our eyes closed. Would you like to share your experience and put it to words, not for your sake, but because you have talent? Please, yes. And I'm going to eyes closed in meditative awareness. That's where you're going to hear what people say in that state.
Okay. So I had the image come up that my mind is a vehicle and needs to get gassed up in my heart. So it has to periodically has to come down and drive into my heart and get gassed up with the heart essence. So that's kind of something that came clear, that I have to really try to increase in my daily life. That I have to think, not have to think, that this is just something, a process that has to happen continuously. So.
Beautifully said. That actually is the essence of sadhana. Boom, boom, boom. And it's a circle. Then that circle. Someone else like to share their experience. Because thank you so much.
For me, a very similar experience of bringing my mind into my heart. And then I wanted to take it down to my dantian. So it was kind of like just a complete and full embodiment. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Beautifully said. As above, so below with this stuff. Yes.
So I came in this morning with my mind racing, so it was very good to have the reminder, but I think I leave with more questions about how our desire and devotion connected, because that came up today, and I feel much more open to thinking things through about that, so thank you.
It's fine for you to ask a question, and I'm going to try and answer it. Very opinionated person. Just about everything. say if you have a lot of opinions, it's not very good. So, okay. But I don't care. So, once Jacques Lacan, famous analyst, was in Baltimore at Hopkins, and he said, desire built Baltimore, which is true. Desire built us here. You wouldn't be here without desire, huh? Desire is not graspiness, as some would have you think. It's not clinginess. Desire is awareness itself, manifesting itself in you. It arises in you. And to the degree it arises from awareness and not simply your little mind, it has this awesome power to bring forth what it's manifesting. Desire is connected deeply. It's timeless awareness, potentiality, the purity of awareness arising. The desire for God, if you want to use that word, or for divinity, for liberation, for the purity of heart, arises as desire. That desire is filled with devotion. It's actually the heart essence expressing itself in you this morning. Desire is awareness itself manifesting in your body, manifesting as awareness in you, and manifesting in your mind. Desire is the face of creativity coming forth in you. When we have an anti-desire point of view, that desire is the source of suffering, there'll be a lot of suffering. The great compassion arising from your heart is the desire, huh? Not just wishing people well, like a little empathetic thing, like happy birthday. But it arises, there's a power behind it that arises, it comes through you, huh? That you can be a vehicle, as you mentioned, a vehicle coming through your body. Being comes through us. And desire is the very manifestation of the heart essence. Desire for love, desire for union, is the desire, huh? For non-duality within duality. And desire can have this childlike quality. One more sharing, and then we'll end up our little morning. Would you like to share an experience? When we share experience, that's arose in our awareness, and it's been given to us as a givenness to all this. It's all given. You don't really earn it. It's not a bank account, a rabbit reward system. But when this arises in you, and you articulate it, you have the courage to articulate it, you're actually embodying your talent. It's not incidental. It's not incidental. Yes.
Are you able to speak a little bit more about compassion and empathy?
Empathy is very important, huh? Empathy is I'm trying to understand you. I'm trying to experience what you're experiencing, okay? I'm also trying at times through empathy to experience what you're experiencing, and I may be trying to transform it in my own body. You follow what I mean by those? That's what happens often with empathy. I feel what you're experiencing, which is really good. I'm also trying to transform it in my own body, because there's a way when we experience empathy with people, there's a way we're trying to transform their suffering in us. And it works in little bits. But actually, if you do it all the time, unless you have a really powerful awareness that's filled with fire and light, you're going to get stuck. You with me? And then that suffering becomes your suffering, and then there are two people suffering. And a lot of people who are very good suffer from empathy that way. The great compassion is it's not a receiving people's pain. You with me? It's rather, it is rather the capacity from awareness itself, the very nature of this awareness, this purity, this energy, this light coming through you into this person, huh? It is a gift that comes into the person, and as the person receives that, it begins to help them feel the power of awareness in their own body. Om Ahung Bodhicitta Sukhayana Dhatuva, the little mantra, it's a Citro mantra, and it's a mantra that you want to open up the different dimensions. Om, the dimension of the here and now. Ah, Om, Ah, the dimension of all the archetypical energies, and Hung, the dimension of the primordial awareness potentiality. And you're trying to open that up. And then Om Ahung Mahasukha means the bliss of this, the sublimeness of this, not unlike the yogis chant. Huh? And then you extend this to this person as you are not just wrapped around their character difficulties or even their pain difficulties, but you experience the purity of that being, the purity of that being, the pureness of it, even the childlikeness of it. And you're extending that, you're resonating to that, and you're allowing yourself to extend this into them. It's like when you embrace a person, huh? You embrace a person, you can take the pain, or you can extend what's in yourself into them. And in this way, it's better to give than to receive. And receiving actually helps momentarily, but receiving doesn't really empower. It's an empowerment issue for people. And if you think you have to have an outfit on, or some kind of way, you have to have some kind of ordination, or someone has to say, you've got it, you're waiting for a Godot. You with me? Out of your own love and your own devotion, you take that into yourself. Or as Dusha Rinpoche says, please stop begging for help. Help me, man. And take that power in your own hands, an embodying way. But this is not for everybody, and it may not be for you. With that, we'll rub our hands together and place it on our hearts. Thank you guys for coming. We won't be here next week. We won't be next Friday. We won't be here. We'll be Wednesday. We have Wednesday. We have the seminar, and then the Friday after that, the day after Thanksgiving, we won't be here either. And then we'll be back the following week. Thank you so much, and let's extend to each other, which is actually compassion, right? Well, let's extend to each other here. Extend to our friends on the extend to our beloved friend Chakrapani, who died recently, and though he died at this fantastic time that the transition is very straightforward and easy it's a good time to die. Extend to him. And as a yogi, a person dies. Yogi means as we die, all of us. As we die, and we're in that transition, we feel that energy. We also have a capacity, as that great space of deathless awareness opens, to transmit blessings back to those we know and love. All the yogis know it's not a great... In mind alone, it's a big abyss. In awareness itself, it's a thin, thin veil. Thank you, guys, and see you next week. You're welcome to stay and meditate to 9 o'clock, and then and all these little talks are on the Washington Center. We put them up, and you're welcome to listen to them again if you like. And it's a view of Dzogchen. It's also a view of Kazimir Shaivism. And it's a view of a lot of Western phenomenology. I always like when something is thought in different places. Gives me confidence, for my opinion. See you later. Thanks. I might do this more occasionally, different times. I always like this recording, but nobody's bothered here. We don't know anybody's names. It's dark. You come in, you leave. And I like that aspect, but I'm thinking maybe just mixing it up a little bit. You know why? Because everybody in here has talent and expertise. Who is the phone number? 724-972-2576. Who are you? Who's 724-972-2576?
Rudy, it's Dan.
Dan, hi. Good. Thanks. See you guys later. You had a good time today. Bye. Yeah, we have bikini tomorrow. Yeah.
And Rudy, this is a friend of mine who's coming today, Pam.
I'm glad you asked your question. It's an important distinction. Not made. And a lot of times people, teachers know it's not.